Good morning and good afternoon to everybody. Welcome to our Humanities Team Spirituality and Action Call. I'm Steve Farrell, the Worldwide Coordinating Director for Humanities Team. And I want to share a special welcome to all of our Spirituality and Action members, Catalyst, Angel, and Sustainer. Thank you so much, each of you, for financially nurturing Humanities Team. Your dollars go right to our front line. Thank you. I'm going to review our agenda here to get things started. Following this welcome, I'm going to take you through our spiritual activism programs. Then we'll welcome our special guest, Steve Bhaerman, also known as Swami Bhayandananda, who is going to tell you about a Healing Our Waters program next week that's very special and very important. It's 1 week from today at the same time as today's call, if you want to go ahead and make note of that now. Then Dee Meyer will share about Humanities Team University and programs including the Living in Oneness Summit that's planned for May. Maria Ferrara is going to tell you about Inner Journey programs that are coming up. Nancy Ash will tell you about Evening Luminary programs that are coming in March and April. Francine Corbel will update you on World's Regions, including open roles in countries that we are looking to fill. Nanette Kennedy will review open volunteer positions in support areas. And then Dee Meyer and Nanette Kennedy will tell you briefly about upcoming plans for our Spirituality in Action program. And as you know, this is the program that financially nurtures Humanities Team. And then I will bring in questions and comments from you. We'll share names, cities, and countries that you all put in the window. Once again, go ahead and get started now if you want by putting your name, city, and country in the question window. Any questions before we get started? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to just briefly share a spiritual experience that kind of brings us into this call. So I invite you to close your eyes and release your agendas, all of your thoughts here for a moment. Dear God, one presence, fill me with your love, light, peace, and understanding. Fill me to the full. Permit my heart to be with your heart and my lungs to breathe with you. Animate me from head to toe with your love and light. There are so many who feel alone and unworthy. Touch these people through me. Express fully through me that they may feel God's presence. Love through me, heal through me, prosper through me. Let no person, animal, or life form go untouched. Express through me, beloved, that the whole world may feel the depth and fullness of your love. May we feel the torrent of your love that is raining down on the whole of the earth. May the earth receive this blessing, and may humanity and life on earth enter the dawn of a new day, a day filled with health, healing, well-being, joy, and laughter. So be it, and so it is. Amen and amen. And we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to share a little bit about our spirituality and our spiritual activism programs to get started. I'm going to just go down the list. Global Oneness Day 2014 is Friday, October 24th this year. So I invite you to go ahead and mark your calendar and pin. It's on a Friday this year, October 24th, Global Oneness Day 2014. We're hoping to get our registration site up in April of this year. We actually have our special guest here to speak about our spiritual activism call that's coming up. That special guest is Steve Bhaerman. He's here with us, and he also is known as Swami Bhayandananda. He's going to tell you about our spiritual activism call next week at the same time. Let me just introduce him briefly. Steve Bhaerman is an internationally known author, humorist, and workshop leader. For more than 25 years, he has written and performed as Swami Bhayandananda, the cosmic comic. Swami's comedy has been described both as comedy disguised as wisdom and wisdom disguised as comedy. And noted author Marianne Williamson has called him the Mark Twain of our generation, and certainly within Humanities Team we couldn't agree more. And welcome to the call, Steve Bhaerman.
Well, thank you, Steve, and thank you for doing what you do. And, I wrote an article about a month ago about Fukushima, the Japanese nuclear plant that deconstructed. And I realized that there was a lot of fear a lot of it well-founded fear, but just a lot of confusion, mistrust, feelings of betrayal, and so on. And I wondered, what was it that I could do? And I heard this quiet voice, and the voice said, "We can pray." And so I asked, "Will that help?" And the voice, which said, "Could it hurt?" And so I started thinking about how we could do this, and that's when I thought of my friend Celeste Iacoboni, who is a practitioner and expert on the instrument of forgiveness called Ho'oponopono, which is the Hawaiian tool for making the right. It's a way of holding the field of forgiveness and love. And so I contacted Steve here, and immediately Humanities team said, yes, we want to host the call. We've enrolled Shift Network and other networks in getting people to come on the call. And what's exciting about this is that you have a chance to participate by chanting. Celeste has turned the Ho'oponopono chant into a tune, into a mantra. And there's something about the vibrations of sound, the vibrations of energy. Next Thursday at the same time, we'll have an opportunity to hear about Ho'oponopono and the power of it. We'll have an opportunity to do the chant ourselves and send the vibration out. And then we'll have an opportunity to share with one another our own experiences of it. So it should be a very rich call. And let's see what happens as we cast our Ho'oponopono on the waters.
Yes, so amazing call. You all have probably read about some of the radiation that's washed up on the West Coast, in particular California. But just as Steve is sharing, it's even a bigger issue than that. Findhorn also reached out to Steve, and there are water issues even beyond just what we see here in California. So it's a beautiful invitation for us. Okay, let's go ahead next to our next person on the call, my partner and colleague, Dee Meyer, who's going to share about the Humanities Team University and the Living in Oneness Summit.
Thank you, Steve. We have exciting things happening within the university. We are working on bringing in a series of master's programs where you can learn some new techniques for bringing in the essence of oneness, for bringing in more love into your life. So we're be watching for that master's program. Also, new digital programming that is affordable, and also bringing in more tips and techniques for living in oneness. And then following that, our Living in Oneness Telesummit will be May 7th through 18th, and the entire summit is geared towards bringing tools for living life in oneness. You'll learn the essential ingredients for the 5 major areas of life: self or connection with source, parenting, relationship with significant other, business and professional life, and leadership and public service. So we're really looking forward to bringing in just incredible speakers and bringing you new and different techniques. So be looking for that May 17th through 18th. So back to you, Steve. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. And that's a whole lot of work, and Dee is out working on that with a lot of the team here in the Humanities team. Put that one down in ink on your calendar, too. May 7th, that's a Wednesday, through Sunday, May 18th. That's the Living in Oneness Summit this year. Last year was the inaugural year, and we had just a great turnout, great speakers. Wait until you see the speakers coming this year. It'll be a bigger program, a deeper program, Wednesday, May 7th through Sunday, May 18th. I invite you to plan to listen in to that. It's going to be free, as they always are, live and for 48 hours. So looking forward to that. And next up is Maria Ferrara, who's out of Portugal and who leads the Inner Journey program, and she's going to share a little bit about what's coming up. Welcome to the call, Maria.
And for this year, we are focusing on actually our own inner journey, on what happens and what we what we must do in order to fulfill and integrate what is a desire that we have for our own personal development. And we have lots of fantastic speakers coming up. The plan is still developing. It's not completely finalized, but you will hear from us very soon on all the plans and all the speakers that we will bring in. We will be giving you actual practices.
Any programs, and like you said, the program earlier with Neil Donald Walsh on focusing on relationships was an amazing call, and now really going deep on our own inner journey with all of these different dimensions, as you mentioned a few, like shadow work, and of course the different faith traditions focus on different ways in meditation and prayer to create effective inner work. So that's going to be amazing, and looking forward to it. Next up is Nancy Ash. Nancy is, I think, Nancy, you might be in the audience and not, I think you're on the microphone, though, so hopefully you can, we're going to hear you when you speak.
Oh, I hope so. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. We can. Yeah, welcome to the call, Nancy, who runs the Evening Luminary programs, and good to have you with us, Nancy.
Oh, thank you so much, Steve. I am so honored to be on this call. I've had a little bit of a cold, so I hope my voice will come across loud and clear for you all. As we were just talking about, one of the most important functions of Humanities Team is that inner journey part of our experience in life. And as my wonderful colleague, Maria just spoke of, these special events are so important. And so part of this inner journey aspect or function of Humanities Team is what is called the Evening Luminaries program. The programs that we do are really kind of designed like this format that you're participating in. So, we open with a spiritual experience, a blessing, and then our guest luminary and I will enter into a, deep dialogue, inspiring topics for you, and they're usually related to the 12 spheres of life of Oneness initiative that we have here at Humanities Team. In fact, I was so delighted on this call that Steve Bhaerman, our dear Swami Beyondananda, was actually one of our evening luminary guests last year in 2013, and it was an awesome, a fun, and inspiring, powerful evening for sure. So, we all have light to shine brightly for the sake of all sentient beings, so keep that in mind for these luminaries coming up. In March 12th, which is a Wednesday, we have Tony Burrows joining us. He is an astonishing author of like 10 books. He's the co-founder of Intenders of the Highest Good. That is going to be an incredible program. And then in April, on the 16th, a gorgeous full moon, our wonderful guest luminary is Cynthia James, also award-winning author, an astonishing woman, a transformational specialist, and, she guides programs that she calls Inward Journey Pilgrimage Retreats. So these are going to be awesome programs. I'm so delighted, and we have lots of other wonderful, phenomenal guests upcoming too. So I'll keep it brief here. We thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you, Nancy. And Nancy Ash is out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and leads these evening luminary programs and does such a great job. So hope you put these items on your calendar. The March program that's coming up with Tony Burrows, who leads the Intenders for the Greatest Good, and then the April program with Cynthia, who's amazing, out of Mile High Church, which is the largest New Thought church, except for Agape, I think, in the world. And it's based out of Denver. And if you haven't heard Cynthia, boy, you're going to want to tune into that in April. So welcome to the call, Francine.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. And hello, everyone. We are very excited by colleagues Gabriela Bruge and Elaine Layden in working as a team, supporting new countries that are joining Humanities team. Since our last call, we added 2 wonderful persons as country coordinators from 2 different countries. From Denmark, Sibylla Rivendlo. It's fantastic to see how much our message of oneness is now spreading all around the world. But we do not want to stop. We are looking to more countries in Europe and Asia. If you feel that you are called to share your oneness with members in your country, please let us know, and we will be more than happy to support you in your new role. We are waiting for you. Love to everyone. And back to you, Steve.
Okay, thank you, Francine. And together with Gabrielle Rouge, they run the World's Regions Function for Humanities team. And Francine, thank you so much. I understand we do have some audio issues on this call, so apologies for that. We'll all try and speak slowly, and we're checking all the dials here on Maestro just to see if we can make any adjustments. Apologies for these moments when we've gone blank. Let me just share a check-in from some of the people that are listening here today. Jean in Henderson, Nevada says hello from Henderson. Sandy in Houston says hello. Hello, everyone. Michelle in Steamboat Springs, United States says hello. And Julie in Sedona, Arizona says hello. Happy to be here from Sedona, Arizona. Thank you. Linda from Irvington, Virginia. And hello, Linda. No questions, much anticipation, she says. And great to have you with us, Linda. Tony in Denver, Colorado says, go Broncos. All right. We've got a little Super Bowl appreciation going on here. I guess that's this coming Sunday, isn't it? And we many of us live here in Colorado too. Tony, we're with you. Let's see. Janet in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, is here and says hello to everybody. Janet, I'm going to, in this case, share her last name, Janet Gunn. She's working on an incredible project called Oneness Hubs, and together with Humanities team, Barbara Marks Hubbard's organization Evolve, and AG&T's organization Barbara Fields, we're just looking to see if there might be a way to create a community that we can do this 12 Spheres work in, and Janet Gunn is leading that initiative. So Janet, great to have you with us. Nancy in Minneapolis says, this is my first call, and she's checking in. Sandy in Houston also says hello. Let's see. So I'll do some other check-ins as we go further into the call. And again, if you have comments or inspirations or questions that you want to share, please feel free to come in. Next, I want to welcome to the call the person that I work with closely every day, all day, and who's such a dear friend, and who's got a special program with her son that she's leaving for on Sunday. She leads communications for Humanities team and does so much more. Nanette Kennedy, and she's going to share of open volunteer positions and maybe a few other things. Welcome to the call, Nanette.
Hello, Steve, and thank you. And can everybody hear me?
We can. Yep. Hear you
okay,
great.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. Yes, I am getting ready to take my son to Carnegie Hall where he will be singing, and I'm very excited. So thank you for mentioning that little tidbit, too. It's quite an honor. Anyway, I'm here to tell you a little bit about our Humanities team volunteer positions, but before I do that, Dee and I have been handling back and forth the volunteer position and the recruiting position forever, and we have been so blessed. On one of these phone calls a year ago this past December, one of the people that called in wanted to become more involved with Humanities team, and she has stepped up, and she is now the new volunteer coordinator, but we are going to let her just say hello here briefly to introduce herself, but I will then go list the volunteer opportunities we have at the moment. Lisa, are you there?
I am here.
Welcome,
you hear
Lisa.
me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Nanette. It seems like it was yesterday, and it also seems like a long time ago that I first listened in on the call. but it has really been my honor and pleasure to be involved in Humanities Team since that day, and I am thrilled to be the volunteer coordinator for Humanities Team because now I get to help other people find their way to us, and it has been such a great experience for me, and I absolutely love all of the people I've met through Humanities Team, and you bring my energy higher every time I talk with you or listen in on a call, and so I want to share the same joy that I have with other people of like mind and like heart. And so I'm really excited to be here.
All right, awesome to have you here with us, Lisa. And Nanette, did you have other things you wanted to share?
Yes, I'm just going to, well, one thing I want to tell everybody, we will be sending out a follow-up note that will hopefully go out today, but it could be tomorrow, that will list a lot of the things that we're talking about so that if you're writing as fast as you can with a pencil, don't worry about it. We will send out a link to the recording, and we will send out the information that we are discussing right here. So don't panic if you're using your pen and paper right now. A couple of our needs are we need people to help run some Facebook pages. Specifically right now we need someone hopefully who lives in Illinois or Florida to help us make inspirational a worldwide Facebook page, and I need an assistant to help me answer questions that come in through that page. I do all the posting, but it's very difficult to keep up with lots of questions that are coming in, so I need an assistant. We also need people who know how to set up Maestro conference calls, and it would just be the setting up process, not running the calls. But we just brought on one other new person to help do that, and we're very excited. But we could always we'd like to have 3 or 4 people. It takes about 20 to 25 minutes to set up one of those calls. And we also have a place on our www.humanitiesteam.org website called Voices of Oneness, and this is for essays, short stories, poetry, anything that has to do with oneness. And we're looking for somebody who doesn't mind looking for those stories and then posting those stories 1 or 2 times a week. So we need 1 or 2 people to help with that position. Then we also have a position or a space on that same website called News, and we like to take news stories that we find out on the Internet or the newspaper. But we have several websites that are all connected to our main website that are WordPress sites, and we need people who can help us update, in some cases do some redesigning, and we also need the creation of a user account self-maintenance page with any, and I'm going to give you this person's name, Kerry Beach. He is our IT person, because a lot of this is like reading Greek for me because I'm not an IT person. We will need to redesign our email marketing templates, and again, all this will be in a note with more description because we have some short-term assignments and some longer-term assignments, but anybody who's got IT interest can reach Kerry Beach at Kerry, Kerry, Beach, Beach, at humanitiesteam.org, humanitiesteam.org.
Nanette, does volunteer at humanitiesteam.org, does that work?
Volunteer at humanitiesteam.org works, as does the word recruit at humanitiesteam.org.
Fantastic.
And again,
so
those will be in that post letter.
The post letter that's coming out. Okay, for all of the people that registered for the call. So thanks again, Nanette, and thanks for all that you do. And also Lisa Betts, who's the volunteer coordinator for Humanities Team out of the Midwest. I think it's Nebraska. And Lisa, thank you for all of the great work that you do and for coordinating our volunteers all over the world that are handling these support functions. And next up is we're going to bring back Nanette Kennedy and Dee Meyer to talk about our Spirituality in Action program. That's the theme of these calls that are once a quarter. This is called a Spirituality in Action program, and it's led by these people that are financially nurturing humanities team, currently called Catalyst, Angel, and Sustainers. So Nanette and Dee, welcome back to talk about the Spirituality in Action program.
Thank you, Steve.
Before
we go into that, I would love to also just say a big thank you to Noelle Marshall, who's assisting with the volunteer program, and Reverend Stephanie Westbrook, who's helping with the recruit function. So there's just so many people to thank, but I want to make sure we get those in there. With our Spirituality in Action program, Nanette and I have been working on revising it and refreshing it, and so we want to let you know that we've come up with some great new plans for the Spirituality in Action program. All of our presentations are going to be free for 48 hours to everybody that is a member of Humanities Team at all levels. And with each of the calls, our intention is awakening the world to oneness, expansion of life, love, and prosperity. Nanette, over to you.
Next month, we are going to have Michelle run a half-hour prayer meditation phone call, and we will send out information in plenty of time where everybody can join that call if they so wish. And we'd like to thank Michelle for volunteering to do that for us. And then another new program that we're going to be starting, I believe this will be in late March, is we're going to have a program led by Todd Kramer, who is a man who wears many hats in Humanities Team, and by another gentleman named Chaplain Dan. And both of these men are war vets, and we are going to create a group for veterans so they can talk about oneness and their awakening and some of the things that they deal with having been veterans, and how they can reconcile having been a veteran and really being a promoter of oneness and what they've learned through their experiences. And these will be open to veterans, families of veterans, friends of veterans, and I think we can all learn a lot, and so we're really looking forward to that. And then we have a couple of other calls up our sleeves that we don't have in cement yet, but we're really working on having a big variety of community calls for you all. Back to you, Dee.
So we have a lot going on, and we look forward to sharing it with you in the upcoming months. So thanks. Back to you, Steve.
Okay, thanks again, Nanette and Dee, and they covered a lot. So let me just share one of the things in there is that we are going to a live format where Nanette and Dee will interview these leaders live on conference calls, and then they will tape them. They'll be recorded. Really going to raise the bar here and pour new energy into Spirituality in Action. It's been an amazing program for Humanities Team. It's really financially nurtured us over the year, and we're looking forward to putting a lot more in. If you're on the call, invite you again, put your name, city, and country if you want in the question window. If you're on Maestro, you can put your hand up by hitting *1. Any comments and questions, feel free to bring those in. I want to share just some thank yous here. We've brought in names during the call. We are almost all volunteers, so, boy, so much gratitude and appreciation for the people that make this movement work. Helen Layton, who's up in Canada, just rejoined us after taking a year off to celebrate a big anniversary with her husband. So big thank you to Helen Layton, Michelle Harvey, Michelle Savaco, Carrie Beach, who runs the IT function for Humanities Team, Todd Kramer, who runs many different functions for Humanities Team, wears many hats, including order fulfillment for these recordings and things. Anna Marie Petiers, who's usually with us on these calls. She's traveling this week, so can't be present. She's the co-lead on all of the spiritual activism programs. She's the country coordinator in South Africa. And our Global Council meeting this year is in South Africa. It's in late July and early August, and we'll be sharing lots more about that soon. Bringing back around, we mentioned them a little earlier, Janet Gunn, who's creating this community for the Oneness and 12 Spheres of Life hub, and for each of those spheres and sectors, Janet Gunn, and also Jewel Alexander, who we mentioned earlier, who is leading the teammate care function. And there are many other volunteers. During these calls, we'll take an opportunity to bring their names in. It's the least we can do to just say thank you and share gratitude and appreciation for them. They volunteer a significant amount of their time and hard energy, and we sure appreciate them. So let's see. I want to just look at other things we might want to get to here before we wrap this call. Indiegogo program. Yes, let me. We have a hand up, so Lynn, we'll get to you here in just a minute. Who has a hand up? Let me mention for all of you that supported our Indiegogo campaign. It's a crowd-raising platform, Indiegogo, like Kickstarter. This is a little different platform called Indiegogo. Shalini and Angie Lyle. Shalini's based in the United Kingdom. She is the country coordinator for England and the United Kingdom, and Angie Lyle is based right here in Kansas City in the United States. And the two of them, under Dee Meyer's stewardship, created this program. By the way, Nanette Kennedy gave a lot of support to it as well, and just created a video that really tells our story and invited people to financially contribute to our work. And the campaign ended yesterday, and there was a $6,000 goal, and we did achieve the goal within 10 hours of the end date and time. So we're excited about that, and thank you to all of you who financially contributed to our Indiegogo campaign. We are grateful. Lynn, let's go ahead and bring you in. You have your hand up. Do you have a question that you want to share?
Yes. Well, a couple comments. I just wanted to share with you guys another outreach that has millions that would love to be involved in interacting with you. And they're at www.bbsradio.com, and there's 2 pages. You can scroll down, and many of them have thousands and thousands that would love and have been sort of interworking, too, with you guys the best I can with them. And then also, too, we're working together. We're trying to get people to get organized for the Cities of Light and recreate, especially the Healing Teaching Ascension Centers, where they can have the virtual, local, and global programs that you're talking about for the kids to go to, instead of the juvies, instead of drugging and jailing and the penal industrial complex and, military, and reform the healthcare system, and that there really is plenty of money. They're talking about the Reformation Act and getting away from the fossil fuel dollar and moving into, global financial reset. The Green Party's involved too, and we really need to work together on all this. And just, too, the Healing Teaching Ascension Center for the light workers and body, mind, spirit healers are imperative for the new jobs to be opened up, but I can't say it enough. I'm looking for help in that aspect. So blessings, and thank you all for what you're doing, too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for coming in and sharing. And, yeah, there's lots of good programs that are going on around the world, outreach. When we walk through that door and come into oneness, we see that we're, of course, connected to all of humanity and all of life and to God. And then, it's just natural that we want to be there of assistance to people and become involved in these programs, humanitarian programs, environmental programs, and others. So thank you so much for sharing. Lynn, there are other people on the line. Sister Rosemary in Desert Edge, California is with us. Linda in Harrogate is with us. And I want to also, Peter Melton is with us in California. Peter is the creator of the Oneness hand signal, and so let's do that. It's a wonderful way when we're in our car, walking down our driveway, just hanging out with our kids, of sharing, our oneness message. And there are different ways to do this. Peter's modified this a little bit over the years, but basically we start with a peace sign. So I've got my right hand up, the peace sign. Our bodies are separate, but as we know, there is only one presence. And then we kind of point out at the crowd, and then bring those 2 fingers back together to the heart. We are all one. So our bodies are separate, but as we know, there's only one presence. We are all one. Beautiful. And Peter, thank you for your contribution to the world with the Oneness Hand Signal and all of the other wonderful things that you do. I want to thank as well all of the community that's listening to this call. You are spiritual activists or you wouldn't be here present with us. So first and foremost, thank you for your spiritual activism. Thanks for prioritizing this time and being with us here today. I want to thank all of my colleagues and partners who presented here during the call. Dee Meyer, Maria Ferrara, Nancy Ash, Francine Corbel, Nanette Kennedy, Anna Marie Patiers, who missed this call but is part of these usually. So thank you to all of you. Thank you to our special guest, Steve Bhaerman, Swami Bhayandananda, who is with us on this call and who's going to be with us in Celeste next week at the same time for this Healing Our Waters program. Really looking forward to that next week. And Steve and Celeste, thank you for creating the program, and Humanities team is delighted to be part of it. So big thank you to everybody. Have a fabulous week, and come back and join us next week, Thursday the 6th at 8:30 Pacific for the Healing Our Waters program. And then again, 1 week later, Thursday the 13th, a little later in the day, at 10 to 11 Pacific for this Oneness and 12 Spheres of Life call with Barbara Marks Hubbard, Barbara Fields, Anna Marie Patiers, myself, and our special guest, Bernard Leotar, who's going to talk about economics. So we're going to talk about economics as it relates to oneness. So please do join us, and look forward to seeing you next week and the week after. And thanks again so much for being here, sending lots of gratefulness, appreciation, and love to each of you. And take care.